Hello guys, gals, and those in between. Today we are making the most delicious vegetarian pasta that you've ever had in your life. This morning a friend texted me and they asked me what was in the pasta when they came over and is it on my channel? And I thought, it's not on my channel. I have a vegan mac and cheese, I have a frozen vegetable pasta, which is really great, and a pasta way back, chicken vegetable pesto something. When I was not plant-based, I thought I'd make a delicious pasta recipe and show you how you can kind of adapt it. Like, so these are very flexible. Like, I'm using literally what I have in my fridge and kind of the main core elements that really make a great pasta that you can apply to any pasta recipe. So let's do it. I start every pasta with a big pot of water and salt. I'm not too sticky with the measurements because you can always add more, but you want to get a lot in there. Make that nice and salty. And we can turn it on. Yours may not be ready in time by the time you got everything else, but it's okay. It's just water. You can always add more. So I put that on a medium-high. I also start every pasta off with onion. Flavor Flav. I cut off the outside. This is my way of doing it. Maybe it's not the most effective, but it's the most effective for me, and I've tried them all. And I take the outside off. And for these pastas, I like to just slice and dice. Actually, I don't do any dicing, just slicing. I lied. And I am not working at a restaurant, so I don't need my sizes to be perfect. It's not gonna really make a big difference, but you see, done, voila. We also wanna get in some garlic. People never use enough garlic. These are big cloves, so for small ones, that's gonna be about 5-6 cloves. Add more. You're probably used to 1 to 2 cloves at most, but you should have like 2 to 3 cloves per person. Oh, here comes the crying. Smash, peel off the outside. Sometimes you need a bit more. Take off the end. And we'll just chop that down to a rough mince. Intruder, intruder. Done. Okay, we're gonna turn our pan to medium high and we're gonna let that heat up. And we're going to add in a bit of oil. I'm gonna add in about a tablespoon, probably a bit more. And people always tell me I use way too much oil, and I know oil is bad for you, but I'm trying to make this delicious, so use as much as you need. And I'm gonna drop in that tablespoon, and I'm also going to use about a tablespoon or 2 of olive oil. Coconut oil has a higher smoke point, and olive oil tastes better for pasta, but you can go with one or the other. I'm trying to be flexible in our cooking. And let's get our onions and garlic in. And you can wait till that oil's hot, but it's gonna get hot regardless, so let it sizzle away. We can prep the rest of our ingredients. You may wanna just set that aside if you're not fast enough with the knife or it's too much to handle going on, but I like to just get everything going one after the other. I got some mushrooms. They offer so much umami flavor, and you can use whatever, like cremini, these white button mushrooms, oyster mushrooms if you can afford them. And you wanna wash those off, and then we're just gonna cut off the ends here. And I'm just gonna cut each of these in half. There's gonna be a lot of mushrooms, so you can substitute this. I often like to cook with bell peppers. You can see I got some celery here. And then we're just gonna chop those. Rough chops. I know this is a lot of mushrooms, but we're gonna have a lot of flavor, and this is what I had in my fridge. We don't want that to steam, so we're gonna cook that on a high heat. We want these mushrooms to brown a bit. And if you just shove everything in the pan, then it's gonna steam, so use a big pan with a lot of surface area. And high heat, always cook on high heat. If you start burning shit, turn it down. You can add in some veggie stock, you can add some wine, add some water. While that's cooking down, I'm gonna prep some celery. Adds a nice crisp texture. Again, rough chops. You can go like that, or you can go diagonally. But I just like to bulk chop this. Those aromas. I'm gonna let that cook down for a bit before I add in the celery. I wouldn't worry about overcooking mushrooms. They're just gonna enhance that umami flavor and just get more and more rich. Okay, celery time. Now let's get in some spices. So salt, we're gonna salt this to taste. So I'm gonna go in with about a tablespoon to start. If you wanna add some spice, you can add some chili flakes. And for a bit of an Italian version, I got some oregano. Okay, secret ingredient, nutritional yeast. Not so secret, I've done this plenty on the channel. Nutritional yeast adds a ton of umami flavor, and it's like a complete protein too. It's rich in amino acids. This stuff is so good for you. I think it even has B12, which most vegans don't get enough of. Most people in general. It's like a rich, cheesy flavor, and I add a ton of it. I buy this stuff in bulk, and you should too. So that's gonna be about maybe a third of a cup, half of a cup. I know that's a lot, but we're getting a lot of that. I love that flavor. Things are starting to stick, which means we're gonna get a nice browning in there, but we don't want that to burn. So I'm gonna scrape off the bottom. You can always add a bit of white wine here, even red, not too much, or some water, and that will release all of that sticky bits of flavor. Veggie stock is ideal. Boils right away. Another little flavor pro tip, organic vegetarian bouillon powder, powdered veggie stock, and I'm almost out. I'm gonna reduce the heat here. Okay, we gotta give this a taste. That's delicious. We actually want it overly flavorful. We want that to be soaked up into all the pasta too. So now that we have this kind of base that is beautiful on itself, you can always add some more olive oil in here as part of the sauce to coat the noodles. I like to go with some tomato sauce, just using pre-made tomato sauce, no issues with that. You can also go pesto. You can do some white wine and reduce that a bit. We're going with tomato sauce. Thanks to my roommate for supplying it. That is about a cup there. And that'll start coming up to a boil. Looks like our water has just reached a boil. I got my pasta noodles here. If I had to guess, that's about 400 grams, but you can see my hands there, that much. And we're gonna drop that in right in the center and let that fall. Ooh la la. And we can always push those in as they soften up. Make sure your sauce isn't burning. I was literally just reminded about another ingredient I like to put in. Someone said, I couldn't find any miso paste at my grocery store. Tell your grocer to supply it or ask if they have it. Or you can order it on Amazon. I like to put miso paste in here. It adds a rich umami flavor as well. So you can give that an experiment too. And we want to cook those noodles to al dente. What does that mean, you ask? It means to the bite. So it has to have a little bit of texture there. That's how the Italians prefer it, so I trust their opinion. You don't want soggy noodles. That doesn't make anything taste great. And we're actually gonna take it from when it's al dente and put it in the pan with our sauce and cook that all together. That way all those flavors are absorbed together. Okay, let's give that a try, see if it is firm to the tooth. Another minute or so. Okay, that should be good. We can always cook it more in our saucepan. You can strain it out, just make sure you don't lose all your water. Let's mix that all around. And I'm gonna take some of that stock water and add it in. Not too much, you can always add more. That starch water, it's gonna add a thickness to the pasta, and that will give us a bit more sauce. And I'm all about the sauce. Sauce is boss. Sorry, this pasta is making me extra cheesy. And I'd say we're pretty much done. We can serve that and season with some salt and pepper. Maybe some garnish. And we are done. Oh boy. I actually have a dinner in a couple hours at a friend's house. Actually, the person who asked how to make pasta. So I shouldn't eat too much, but very good. You guys gotta try this. Like I said, it's very flexible. You can make it a lot of different ways, so experiment. Try with some pesto, try with some more olive oil. But these core flavors really help. And I like to often add peas, which I forgot. I was gonna put in just some frozen peas. You can put that at the end there, and yeah, adds a lot of extra flavor and nutrients. Red peppers, that's great. Sun-dried tomatoes, whatever ingredients you've seen in a pasta before, you can add in. It has been a while since I've made a cooking video like this. I think the last cooking video I did was in Palau, and even before that, it's been a while. Hemp seed burgers, that was like 2 months ago. Sorry I haven't been able to keep up with as much as I'd like to. It's been really busy working on my business, Ferio Video, the marketing company. Trying to put more effort into this, obviously, with this recipe. But yeah, leave some comments down below. Any suggestions that you have of ways to make this pasta better, or things that you like to do that you didn't see here, or anything that you think I put in that doesn't make sense, leave it down below. But thanks for watching. Bye, guys.